Today in Squad Busters, we're going to be checking out the new balance changes for February's farming update. That's right, we finally have some changes for the Barbarian King Super Rage spell, which received a 40% nerf. Royale King and Dr. T both received buffs, and matchmaking has now been changed so you get less bots in your lobbies. Now make sure you're using code Claz in the Squad Busters shop if you buy anything, and let's get into the video. Okay, so let's start off with the troop changes, then we'll get into the matchmaking changes, and then some other improvements as well. So we're going to start off with the Barbarian King, which finally received a good nerf, like an actual good nerf. So if you don't know, the Super Rage spell from the Barbarian King makes it so you deal 100% extra damage, which is double damage. Well, the Super Rage is actually receiving a 40% nerf to its damage, which is huge. This means that the Super Rage spell now deals only 60% bonus damage. Now, this is actually how much damage a normal Rage spell does. So the only difference between a Super Rage spell and a normal Rage spell is that the Super Rage spell lasts longer. A normal Rage spell will last for 6 seconds and a Super Rage spell will last for 10 seconds. Next up is the Hog Rider received another nerf. This one kind of hurts, but the Hog Rider's turbo boost when running over grass will now last for less time once you leave the grass. Now it's around a 30% nerf, but you can really tell how badly it's been nerfed when you look at it in the training area. The Hog Rider used to make his way to the bridge when leaving the grass, but now he will only make his way to the blue box. And if I show it side by side, well, then you can see how much the nerf really does affect him. Although the Hog Rider is still going to be really OP, I just think you're going to need more turbo boots now with the Hog Rider for him to be, really good. Now, the final nerf is to the ultimate Barbarian. In fact, it's to the mini elite Barbarian. He now has slightly reduced HP to bring it more in line with the power of other ultimates. His damage is going to stay the exact same though, and I actually don't think this is going to change much with the ultimate Barb. He's still going to be broken, although for people who counter ultimate Barbarian by using splash damage, you're going to have a better time killing ultimate Barbarian players. Okay, so we're now going to move on to the buffs, and starting off we have Nita. So Nita's basic attacks lack of homing has now been fixed. What this means is her bullets now travel further, so they're landing on your enemies more often. It's not going to change much. The Royale King now summons more Royal recruits in its non-fused format. It's a little bit confusing, but let me give you guys the rundown. Pretty much, one Royale King used to spawn 3 recruits. Now, a Royale King will spawn 4 Royal recruits. 2 Royal Kings used to spawn 4 recruits, now they spawn 5. And 1 fused Royale King used to spawn 5 recruits, now they'll spawn in 6. I do think this is a decent buff, but I think those recruits need to actually follow the Royale King for it to actually be good. Ultimate Witch's skeletons now have significantly increased health and damage to be more worth their evolution. Just like Nita though, this isn't going to change much. Now, Dr. T actually received quite a few changes, and one of these changes are pretty good. So firstly, the Mega Crab of Dr. T has had his abilities buffed while being boosted. And what boosted means is, when you get a Dr. T's Mega Crab, he spawns in and then you collect 10 coins and then the crab gets bigger and more enraged. That's what boosted is. The Mega Crab is now going to be immune to slow down and will move faster while being boosted. And each evolution of Dr. T will now greatly increase Mega Crab's boosted speed. I mean, you can see here the Mega Crab actually chases down people at a good rate now. Is this going to change much? Well, I'm going to use him in action when the update drops, and we'll find out. Next up, we have some changes to star chests and normal chests. So star chests now only unlock at level 50 in the squad journey for new players. But if you already have the star chest feature unlocked and you're below level 50, you'll keep the feature. They're not removing it for players who already have it. When you unlock a star chest for the first time, you'll be given 100 star tokens to use. But star chests no longer have cheaper prices for when you've unlocked the feature for the first time. Star chests also no longer contain new characters, so you can't unlock a new troop from a star chest. Instead, you can only get supers, ultras, or ultimates from characters you already have unlocked. And this actually means you're 1.27% more likely to get an ultra from a star chest and 0.07% more likely to get an ultimate in a normal star chest, which is actually a tiny buff, you could say. As you know, you can also now choose which troops you get from star chests. So when you open up a star chest, there is a 40% chance for you to get 2 options. There is a 35% chance for you to get 3 options, and there is a 25% chance for you to get 4 options, which overall, I think is pretty good. Also, the chances of getting characters that you already have maxed out from any chest have been significantly reduced. So you should be getting more characters that you don't have maxed out, because currently if you get characters that you already have maxed out, it converts into star tokens, which we don't really want. They're also going to be adding a new feature to where you can actually buy taps after you complete games for your chests. And this is in case you do badly in a game and get like 7. So a normal reward chest will actually have up to 9 taps, and this depends on if you get first, second, or third. So if you don't finish in first place, you will now get the option to buy all the taps that you would be missing. And this costs 500 coins per tap. Now, is this worth it? Well, 1 tap on average will give you 0.912 babies. So 500 coins pretty much gets you 1 baby. Now, let's say you were to buy babies from the in-game shop. Well, it actually costs 800 coins per common, 1,000 per rare, and 1,200 per epic. So compared to the shop, it actually is worth it. But personally, I would say only buy the extra taps if you have a chest multiplier enabled, because that way you're going to get a lot more babies. So if you have a chest multiplier enabled, buy those taps. If not, they're not really worth it. Next up, we have some bug fixes and matchmaking changes. So firstly, in Showdown, vines are now going to be a lot more chill at the start of games. This is because there was an issue where people wouldn't even have time to get a chest before the vines were actually covering the chest at the starting area. They also fixed a bug where replays would crash, and this was due to a memory issue with the game, but that's been fixed now. They also fixed a bug where duos rankings were sometimes out of order. So this is when you'd finish a game in second place, but you actually had more gems than first place. They also fixed a bug in timeout where you would keep the 200 gems when dying to a source that wasn't the clock. We also have some matchmaking changes. Squad League matchmaking now allows matching upward to individual players to improve top level matchmaking. What this means is people with less trophies can now pair up with people with more trophies, and this is in order for lobbies to fill up more and for the top players not to have like 3-hour waiting times. This sounds like it could be a little bit of a pay to win issue though, with lower people facing higher people, but we'll see. Also, you can now play games in worlds you haven't yet unlocked. You can play in the lava world if you're not even in the lava world yet, but you can't get the troops from that world. Again, this is probably to deal with the bot issue and lobbies filling up. We also have some changes to Showdown. So first of all, there are 4 new maps being added to Showdown. We've got the Lava Drome, the Brambled Shallows, Thunder Glacier, and Frontline Reef. And I'll leave some footage on screen right now so you can see the new maps in action. They look pretty cool. I will say the lava map has a little area where there's like a lot of like coals surrounding the mega potion, which is kind of cool. But yeah, these 4 new maps should make the mode a little bit more interesting, make it so you have a different environment to see, so you're not playing the same maps over and over. You're also going to get more gems from Showdown for your gem pass based on your finishing position. So if you get first place, you're now going to get 500 gems for your gem pass. Before, you would only get 200. Second place goes from 170 gems to 400. Third place, you go from 150 to 300 gems. Fourth place, you go from 130 gems to 200. And fifth place remains at 100 gems. Also, Showdown will now class a win as getting top 3. Before it was top 2. This is mainly for stats. The Showdown Mega Potion will now spawn more randomly, so it might spawn quicker or slower. I don't know if I like this change. We'll have to see it. Showdown Potions will no longer heal you when you pick them up to give it a little nerf. And the Showdown Potion will no longer spawn if you're camping it, aka standing right on top of it. And that's everything. Anyways, overall, I actually think we received pretty decent balance changes, and I'm quite happy with them. The update is going to be live tomorrow though, and if you decide to buy anything in the update, I would actually appreciate if you would use code Claz in the Squad Busters shop. It really helps. And if you want to watch more from me, there's a video on screen here where I played Squad Busters Guess Who against another YouTuber. It was very much funny, yes, fun. If you want to watch the video, you just tap on screen here. Bye-bye.